We just need to practice our zone offense a little bit and getting more ball movement, figuring out when to attack gaps. So, yeah, it was a little bit frustrating, but we figured it out.
And for you, now that we're, 10 games into the season or whatever, how are you feeling? Are you feeling like you're back to 100% or getting there? How close are you?
I think every game I feel more comfortable, and my teammates are always lifting me up, telling me to shoot the ball, having a lot of confidence in me, so every day is better. Thanks.
Kyla, a lot of minutes for you today, a couple blocks, rebound. I mean, how good did you feel out there? And, has it taken you maybe just a minute to kind of get it used to maybe all the new players and that kind of thing?
Felt pretty good, Once I kind of got in my groove, I felt like, okay, just keep this momentum going, just keep doing the little things that'll keep me on the court. And yeah, I feel like it took me a second to get used to everybody. They talk about it a lot, like knowing who to screen and how to screen for them. I still struggle with that a little bit, but I think in this game it kind of clicked for me.
And what was Nikki's reaction on your bank shot?
I have no idea. I was shocked myself, so I have no idea.
Yeah, Jana, what was y'all's reaction? Because I think I heard that the bench was like kind of laughing and stuff.
No, I was excited. That's a bucket. I don't care how it goes in.
You kind of touched it with the zone, but Talia and Bugs really didn't get going in the first half. What got them going? I think they combined for like 27 points in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Bugs and Talia are, even if they have an off quarter or an off half or whatever, they're very consistent players, so we know like they're going to start hitting their shots. So we just give them confidence in our words, and then also they play hard defense, and I think when we play good defense, it translates to them making more shots. So.
Jenna, when did you figure it was going to be your night scoring the basketball? Obviously, last game seemed like you were just dishing it out. Today, scoring it, what was working well for you in that regard?
Yeah, I've been struggling with my three for the beginning of the season, so it's nice to see it go in, but that's a credit to my teammates and my coaches who keep telling me to shoot the ball, not to shy away from it. And so if they were literally leaving me wide open at the top, so I had to shoot it. So I'm glad it went in.
Kyla, you talk about getting over a hump to find your. Have you gotten better at doing that kind of in a game, kind of as your career has gone on? Has that become easier to do for you?
Like getting over a hump?
Yeah, in a game, you got to find your rhythm, like you did tonight. Has that been easier to do as you have gotten older and more experienced?
Absolutely. Because I know, like, before freshman, sophomore year, I didn't play a lot. But when I was off, I was off. And when I was on, I was on. I feel like this year I've definitely overcome, like, okay, if I'm off, I have to figure out other ways to be on. Like, maybe I'm not scoring, but I'm helping my teammates score by setting good screens or rebounding the basketball or even, altering shots on the defensive end. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, for me personally, once my defense starts going, my offense starts to click.
Yeah, what was the message at halftime? Because I think y'all had taken 18 three-point shots and maybe more three-point shots than twos. What was the message at halftime in terms of maybe trying to get it inside or what?
Yeah, definitely getting the ball inside out because we are all really good three-point shooters, but we just have to take them at the right time. And so that was the message, and just getting right mentally because we didn't play as good as we should have in the beginning, and that's mental. So.
Colin, is it the Scream game on Tuesday? Well, I'll be there. How excited are you guys for that? I mean, that's always a pretty high-energy game, but also the last game before you guys go and play Texas. What do you guys need to do? I guess, what do you think you did well today that helped you prepare for that Texas matchup coming up? And then what do you need to do against Alabama State to do that, too?
Do you want this one?
I think we can have it.
Okay, you first.
Okay. I feel like, kind of like I said before, like after the Duke game, treating every game leading up to that as if we're preparing for Texas, not letting up just because, we feel like this is a team that we should be easily, honing in on the little things in preparing for Alabama State like we're preparing for Texas. And I feel like also knowing who we are as a team, knowing that our defense is what drives us, and if we're slow on the defensive end, then we're going to be slow on the offensive end.
And in regards to the kids game, I'm so excited. I think that's going to be the funnest game ever. So please come. 6-7, we can do it all. Yeah.
Nikki, did it, obviously it took you a while to figure out the zone, or the players to figure out the zone. What troubles was that giving you? What were y'all not doing effectively that maybe you did better in the second half?
Well, I think we didn't make shots. I thought Bella got good looks early. I don't think she took bad shots. I just don't think we made them. And, I think it was I think we had, and this shouldn't happen, but I think we had like a weird hangover from the last game where it was so easy and everyone was making shots and there's no pressure in that situation. Someone makes a shot, the next person makes a shot, and I thought Jana did a really good job of sticking a couple shots to kind of calm us down. And I do think they did a good job in their zone of leaning towards Talia. I thought their zone was, not like they were in a box and one or doing anything crazy, but I thought they stretched the two guards at the top and kind of either left Jana open from three or allowed her to penetrate right to the nail. And then it's about decision making from there. And so I think we had too many turnovers to start the game. Just trying to force stuff when we didn't make a shot or rush it. But we have to get better against zones. And I thought they don't want to play zone. Karen wants to play man. I can feel that because the minute we'd make two shots in a row, she'd go to man because I know that's the comfort zone and she can keep a body on a body. But I think it really just comes down to us continuing to learn what are we looking for in our different zone offenses. What are we looking for if we're getting the ball to the high post? We work on it, but we still don't read it particularly well yet. If we're double low post, what are we looking at? I still have a lot of teaching to do with this group. But that's my job. That's what I get paid to do.
Kyla in the second half had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 blocks in 10 minutes. I guess were those some of the best minutes that she's played this season? I
thought that in totality, that might be the best game she's played in a Baylor uniform. I think she's had these moments. I thought her impact in the Duke game was really big. But I think, I was we needed to lean into her today because they were absolutely manhandling KJ on the low block. And just the physicality of their post players was really bothering her. And I thought bringing Kyla in allowed us to match up better because we had to move Bella to their starting 5 player. And that wears her down, and so I think, going with more size and length and just as much length in Kyla, I thought allowed us to match up a little bit better in this one. And it won't always be that case. I just thought the physicality was impacting us.
Jana hit a couple shots early. She's played well in the last couple games. I guess how close is she to being at 100% as she kind of, comes back from that injury?
That's a tough one because I don't have time to sit here and tell you that every kid I've ever coached that had an ACL was better a year after they started back. It just takes a full season to really get back, Do I think she keeps getting better? Yes. And I think as much of that is just game management and seeing the ball go through the basket and becoming a better, what am I looking for? What is being a better point guard for me? Jana has always been someone that played with great tempo, great energy, was a super positive, light, But I'm asking a lot more of her than I've ever asked of her. And so she gets the wrath of me a little bit more than she's used to as well. And she's a pleaser. But, you know, when she makes questionable decisions, I have questions. You know, and that's something that when you're a kid that's coming off the bench and you're making shots and you're playing with great tempo, you know, it's kind of like if she wasn't playing well, I was going back to Jada and Sarah, you know. And so just continuing, I think as much of it is her learning to lead, her learning to like when to defer to Talia and when to take the lead as a point guard, and kind of seeing that balance. And our pace wasn't good enough. I thought she was so good in the last game at getting the ball up the floor early, and we didn't have enough pace today. We had trouble coming up with defensive rebounds. They got tipped around. If we would grab them, like there just wasn't a lot of clean rebound, quick outlet play. Like so, it was just mucky, you know. And so then it becomes a ball control game and play calling and all of the execution piece. And we didn't have to execute a lot the other night because we just played fast and we played in space and we shared the ball a lot. So, but I do think her confidence is growing because she's made a couple layups and, you know, she's being more aggressive, finding the paint and not panicking. Like, you know, I still thought she had a great drive in front of our bench in the third maybe or early in the fourth. And she short-armed it up there and just had it roll off. And it's because she didn't finish her shot. She saw help side coming. She takes her eye off the rim, gets it up too quick. And then she made the last one. So it was good to see her make that adjustment. But she's getting better. She's getting more confident. She's learning how to lead. She's learning when to defer to Talia. She's learning those type of things. You know, but she's not going to be perfect. And she's going to get tested in a lot of different ways with different opponents we have this season.
Nikki, and you always talk about how you're harder on point guards. How do you think she's handling that pressure this season of being that leader and sort of developing in that role? And what do you need to see from her in these next few games, especially with Texas looming?
You know, Jana, the one thing I can't do is beat her down. You know, I think that's important. There's a difference between coaching her up and coaching her hard and beating a kid down. And I think that she has to want the ball and to dribble against Jordan Lee or Rory Harmon, or, you know, like she's got to want some of that responsibility. And, you know, I mean, the Jaden Donovan piece to start the season was different. Like that kid was long, but she's going to be a little more similar to that. And so has she grown from that game in terms of the frustration she had having to deal with, you know, an elite defender, an elite athlete, and just kind of learning to use change of pace and ways that we can pressure release for her. You know, but I think she's growing. I mean, I think she wants to get stuff right, and that's half the battle. Like, I mean, she's someone that, while she took 10 shots today and we needed her to make the shots she took, you know, I think that she's probably the one kid on our team that will be happy playing 35 minutes and taking 2 shots if we win. Like, she's not about trying to score. She's about, you know, engaging her teammates, and that's important. We have to have that. Like, she's probably, and I don't mean this as a negative to our other players. I just think she doesn't care if she takes 2 shots and we win. Like, she doesn't, like, I know that it's not a fake thing. It's not, I'm going to say the right thing. She understands that point guards have, like, Rory Harmon doesn't care if she scores 2 points, 10 points, or they need her to score 24 points. Like, elite point guards need to feel the game and engage and keep everybody involved. And sometimes that means they got to make some of the shots like she did to take the pressure off of other people. And so that's what she's got to continue to learn to do, and why she's valuable for us, even though she didn't have a ton of assists today. You know, nobody did, you know, and with the ball moving around in the zone, the more people are going to touch the ball, you know, in the zone. And I thought some of her reads were good and some of her reads were, you know, a little bit questionable. But I do think she cares enough to keep getting better.
Nikki, to your point of maybe Kyla's best game, plus 20. I mean, I know that's a stat you pay a lot of attention to. And then what was your reaction when she banked in the shot?
First of all, the plus minus matters. I think the plus minus is an important thing over time. Are we a better team with that particular player on the floor? And sometimes it can be unfair to a player who doesn't play poorly but ends up with a lineup that just doesn't quite get it for a 2-minute or 3-minute stretch. So I'm never going to estimate or underestimate the value. I just know in certain games there's absolutely, like, you put a group on the floor and they're getting stops and they're scoring and you stick with them. And that's why I thought she got tired and I went to Kayla and then I went right back to her when they made their little run because I thought she was going to protect the rim the best, in that scenario. And she was screening and rolling. And I think it's Kyla's. When Kyla understands that her value is not in scoring, but it's in plays at the rim, which can include scoring, to see her get an offensive rebound and take it up, that was a bigger play than the bank shot to me because that's what she doesn't do enough of. She goes and gets an offensive rebound, doesn't know where she's at, turns and throws it out to someone on the perimeter, gets us an extra possession, but there are times when she literally has a layup, and I thought her taking that was a bigger play. The bank shot was as it is for every coach, no. And I'm not sure it was quite a yes because it was a bank, and so I was happy for our team that it went in because we were in a battle then. It wasn't like a basket we didn't need in that moment. But definitely, if that was at the free throw line, I would have felt a little bit different. The fact that it was more like 18 feet was a little outside her range. But she was long, which is a key. We always talk about be long, and she was long. She was very long on that one. So, but no, I thought her energy was good. I thought she set good screens. It was good to see her rewarded on the roll and to see her finish, get to gather and finish late because this is a team that I thought was pretty good physically around the rim.
And I'm guessing we won't see them before the Scream game, so you've been through a couple of these Scream games. What are your thoughts about
A few of them. It's awesome because it doesn't matter the opponent. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. They're excited when both teams score. They're excited when music comes on. They're excited. There's just a fun energy. And I'm sure the teachers like it because it's getting close to Christmas break and the kids get squirrely. And so I think this idea of letting them cheer it out is a good thing. So, and it'll be our biggest crowd of the season. So, hopefully we feed off of that as well.